Yeah, so tonight I just watched game three of the Knicks against the Spurs. And unfortunately, the Spurs, they won game three. And yeah, so this game was a game of runs. And the final score was 115 points for the Spurs and 111 for the Knicks. And during the first quarter, the Spurs went off to a fast start once again. And the biggest lead that they had was a 12-point lead. And then in the second quarter, the Knicks came back and made a run. And by halftime, the biggest lead that they had was a 7-point lead. It was 57 for the Spurs, and then the score for the Knicks was 64. And then, like in the second half, the Spurs outscored the Knicks. It was around 51-36 for the 51 points for the Spurs, and then 36 points for the Knicks. And I didn't like the way the Knicks played in this game. A lot of times they weren't playing good defense. They're allowing the guards to penetrate to the paint and make layups. Also, they're allowing Wemby to make layups and dunk the ball. And Karl-Anthony Towns didn't do a good job defending Wemby. And he didn't show up in this game. He only had 11 points. He went 4 of 10. And I was disappointed with how he played tonight. And he played much better in game 1 and 2. And Wemby had a great game. He had 32 points. He went 11 for 14 from the field. He played good defense. He was blocking shots. I think he had about like 3 or 4 blocks in this game. And he had 5 assists. He had 7 rebounds. And he went 2 for 4 from the three-point line. And Jalen Brunson, I didn't like the way he played tonight. He was playing too much hero ball against the Spurs. And I didn't like the way the Knicks didn't move the ball around. And they're just relying too much on Jalen Brunson to create the offense. And overall, the offense was just way too stagnant. And that's why it's easy for the guards to defend Jalen Brunson and just shut down the offense of the Knicks. And, the first 2 games, when they close out the Spurs, they're moving the ball and they're having quality shots. But in this game, it wasn't good. Yeah, so Brunson was just playing too much hero ball and too much 1-on-5 with Jalen Brunson. And Landry Shamet didn't show up. He only had 3 points in this game. Pretty much all he did was cardio, and he had 5 fouls. So he got into a lot of foul trouble. He really didn't play good defense in this game. And McBride didn't show up. He didn't score a single point. Clarkson, he gave a little bit of spark from the bench. And then Alvarado didn't really show up in this game. And then Mitch Robinson didn't really play good lockdown defense against Wemby. And then, and also Anunoby, he showed up in this game. I think he went 7 for 10 from the field. He was efficient. But Mikal Bridges really didn't have enough shots, just because the Knicks offense was very stagnant. But you gotta give credit to the Spurs defense on how they played against Brunson. And the thing I didn't like about the game was the officiation again with the referees, with how they're calling fouls. And Wemby, he pushed Brunson in the head. They don't call it a foul on Wemby. But then, Cornette, he pushes Josh Hart from behind. But they don't call a foul on Cornette. And then when Josh Hart falls on the floor and then gets up and he pushes Cornette back, he gets a technical foul. And then you see Stephon Castle, who runs into Jalen Brunson like a linebacker or a running back, and they don't call a flagrant foul on Brunson. But then Brunson, he contests Champagne's jump shot, and then they call it flagrant foul because Champagne doesn't have enough foot space to land on the ground. I just don't like the way the calls were in this game. It just felt like the Knicks were playing against the Spurs and the referees in this game. It's just my opinion. And Mikal Bridges didn't play well in this game. He didn't have enough shots in this game. And Stephon Castle had a great game. He went 8 for 14 from the field. And then De'Aaron Fox, he went 4 for 14 from the field, but he hit that clutch shot, which closed the deal pretty much. And I knew from that point that the game was over. And the Knicks, they had a chance to win this game. But they were playing very sloppy basketball. They were turning over the ball, just playing stupid basketball. And, not shooting a lot of good shots. Bad shots they're shooting. And that's what cost them the game in the end. And Dylan Harper didn't have a good game. And Kelvin Johnson didn't have a good game. And still the Spurs, they won the game. Yeah, it's just a bad loss for the Knicks. It's a good win for the Spurs. Now, the Knicks, they have to play again in Game 4, and hopefully they'll win this game and stop making all these dumb, turnovers and shooting all these bad shots. Yeah, and then they have to stop relying so much on Jalen Brunson to create the offense and play hero ball. And they have to start moving the ball and play good defense, lock up the paint. I think Anthony Towns has to do his job defending Wemby, and he didn't do it tonight. And Mitch Robinson has to do the same thing. And now allow him to get a whole bunch of layups and just make him shoot tough jump shots. And that's what the Knicks have to do. So, just a bad loss for the Knicks. Well, I'm not sure who's going to win Game 4, to be honest with you. I just hope the Knicks win this game and close it out in 5 games, hopefully, or 6 games, like I predicted. But that's it. That's all. Subscribe to this channel. Like the video. Share. Comment what you think. And have a good night. Bye.